Okay, so imagine a country that's just full of these really stark contrasts. On one side, you've got these absolutely dazzling coastlines, like Caribbean blue water, rugged mountains, ancient cities, UNESCO sites,
Right,
even
just
like
stunningly beautiful places carved out of this white stone.
exactly. But then on the other hand, there's this very physical, very present legacy of deep paranoid isolation. I'm talking about, what is it, over 750,000 concrete bunkers.
Yeah, it's an incredible number. They're everywhere. Little gray mushrooms sort of dotting every hillside, every beach, popping up in fields. It's quite something.
And that image, the bunkers, it kind of sums up the whole Albanian paradox, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, for decades, this place was completely sealed off, more isolated, honestly, than North Korea is today,
Hmm.
all because of this fiercely protective and, yeah, deeply paranoid communist regime.
But now it's like it's exploding onto the scene, trying to catch up with its Mediterranean neighbors like overnight.
At lightning speed, yeah. It's this fascinating mix, isn't it? A place totally defined by its past, but just sprinting towards the future.
So that's our mission for this deep dive, really. We want to figure out if Albania is, truly ready for prime time. Is it still that affordable paradise backpackers used to whisper about?
Or maybe do the very real infrastructure issues,
Yeah.
the chaos of this massive transition, does that end up outweighing the incredible value you can get there?
That's the key question for you, the listener, isn't it? We need to strike that balance.
Exactly. Because this country is changing so fast. It's going from this hidden gem to, well, a pretty mainstream hotspot quicker than you'd believe.
So we're going to unpack it all. The logistics, getting in, getting around, that unpredictability, the costs, which are, let's face it, a huge draw.
Definitely. And the must-see historical sites, the ones that tell Albania's unique story.
Yeah.
But also importantly, the challenging realities, what you really need to be prepared for if you decide to go.
It's a vibe check, basically. On a place that's transforming right before our eyes, we're trying to capture a snapshot of a moving target, really.
A moving target is a good way to put it.
Okay, let's start with the basics. The hurdles. How do we actually get there? And what happens once we touch down?
Right, starting point. Tirana International Airport Nene Teresa. That's TIA, that's your main gateway.
Okay.
And for anyone listening in Europe, getting there has become remarkably easy. And cheap. Really cheap, actually. That's mainly down to the budget airlines.
You mean like Wizz Air, Ryanair? They've really focused on the Balkans, haven't they?
Hugely. They've made a massive push. So we're talking like, if you're flying from London, Milan, maybe Rome, you can often find round trips for, what, 50 to 100 euro?
Seriously, that's less than a train ticket sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're flexible. Book ahead. Even from bigger hubs, say Frankfurt or Amsterdam, you're probably looking at 150 to 250 round trip. It's incredibly accessible now.
That low cost of entry, it has to be a major driver of this tourism boom we're seeing.
Without a doubt, it makes it an easy choice for a weekend break or a longer trip.
Now, what about listeners in North America? It's a bit more involved, I assume. No direct flights yet.
No, not yet. You'll definitely need a connection, usually through a major European or maybe a regional hub. Istanbul's a really common one.
Okay.
Or Vienna, Rome, Frankfurt.
Hmm.
Those are typical layover spots. Cost-wise, from the U.S. East Coast or Canada, you're generally looking somewhere between, say, $700 and $900 USD round trip. Takes a bit more planning, but it's totally doable.
And here's a neat little trick I read about, especially if you're mainly interested in the coast.
Ah, the Corfu connection.
Exactly. Fly into Corfu in Greece, and then it's just a quick, 30-minute ferry ride straight across to Sarande, right in the south of Albania.
It's a brilliant hack if the Riviera is your main focus. Skips Tirana Airport altogether, puts you right where the beaches are.
Okay, so we've landed at TIA. How do we get into Tirana city center? It's about half an hour away, right?
Roughly, yeah, depending on traffic. You've got a couple of main options, and it pays to choose wisely. The easiest, most reliable is probably the Rennes Express bus.
Right.
Runs hourly, super efficient, and it costs next to nothing. About 400 Albanian leek. That's around maybe $4.50. Super cheap.
That sounds like the smart move, but if you're in a hurry, taxis.
Taxes are faster, yeah. They operate on a fixed rate from the airport. Should be around 20 to 25 to get you into the center.
What, there's a catch, isn't there? A warning?
Yes, and this is really important, your first heads up. Only use the official licensed yellow taxis. They have a distinct red logo on the side.
Why only those?
Because there are definitely unlicensed guys operating there looking to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
Sticking to the official taxis just prevents you from getting scammed or overcharged right off the bat. You need to be alert from the moment you step out.
Good tip. Okay, so we're in the city. Now, getting around Albania, you used the word chaos earlier. What does that actually mean on the ground? Is it just slow or truly unpredictable?
Oh, it's definitely unpredictable. Largely because, well, there's no real functioning train network to speak of. Not a comprehensive one, anyway.
So it's all roads.
Pretty much entirely reliant on road travel. And that leads us to the glorious, sometimes slightly terrifying, Furgon system.
Ah, the Furgon. The backbone of local transport, I've heard. Paint a picture for us. What is it like?
Okay, imagine privately owned minibuses. Yeah. Or sometimes just large vans. They run between cities and towns. Think of them like shared taxis, but wilder.
Wilder how?
Yeah.
The scheduling.
Exactly. There is no schedule, not a fixed one. The Furgon leaves when it's full. Simple as that.
Seriously? So you could wait 5 minutes or?
Or 50 minutes. Or longer, especially if it's a less popular route. You usually find them kind of clustered together near main squares or certain markets, not really at formal bus stations.
So finding the right one is just asking around and waiting.
Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
organized chaos. You listen for the driver or maybe an assistant shouting the destination. You confirm the price, which is incredibly cheap, by the way, maybe €5 for a 2-hour trip. Throw your bag in, squeeze in, and just wait. But the upside, it's dirt cheap, like I said. And it's probably the most authentic way to travel alongside locals. You just need patience, lots of patience, and flexibility.
Okay, so Furgons for the authentic budget experience. But what if you want more freedom? Hitting those hidden beaches, mountain roads, renting a car seems logical.
It is. It's definitely the most popular option for tourists who want that freedom. And the cost is great, around 25 to 40 euros a day, typically. Excellent value.
Sense a but coming.
A major but.
Yeah.
And we need to be really blunt here. Driving in Albania is, well, let's call it assertive. Some might say it's like a contact sport.
Okay, define assertive. Are we talking roam traffic levels or something else entirely?
It's its own unique blend, I think. You've got this rapid influx of cars, lots of powerful German sedans. Albanians seem to love them on roads that are improving fast but are still unpredictable.
So what does that mean practically?
It means you need confidence behind the wheel and constant vigilance. Roads outside the main highways can be narrow, maybe unlit, winding. Passing can be aggressive. Parking is often creative.
Afraid of parking.
Let's just say finding a designated spot isn't always the priority. Plus, expect sudden stops, maybe livestock on the road, turn signals, often optional. You just have to be really switched on.
Right. Rent the car for the Riviera road trip, but drive very, very defensively.
Got it. And what about driving in Tirana?
Okay. Strong recommendation here. Don't. If you rent a car, do not plan on driving it within the capital city itself.
Why not?
The traffic is just gridlock, seriously intense. And parking, forget it. It's virtually impossible to find a spot in the central areas. You'll just waste your day getting stressed.
So what's the alternative in Tirana?
Tirana is surprisingly walkable, especially the main neighborhoods tourists stick to. And for anything further, taxis. They're everywhere, and they're incredibly cheap. Like, a 10-minute ride will rarely cost you more than €5.
But again, the taxi advice. Yep, same rule applies inside the city as at the airport. Insist they use the meter. Or agree on the price before you get in. Just avoids any hassle later. Okay, let's talk about where to sleep. Because honestly, accommodation is one of Albania's absolute strongest selling points. It's a huge reason it's gone from this backpacker secret to a major destination so quickly. The value you get is just exceptional.
Often bafflingly so, right, compared to elsewhere in Europe.
Exactly. Let's start with the budget end. You mentioned backpackers whispering about it.
Yeah, hostels must be pretty common.
Oh, totally. Plenty of great hostels, especially in Tirana, Shkodër up north, and definitely along the coast. They're generally clean, well-run, often very social. You can easily snag a dorm bed for like 10 to 15 euro a night.
Any specific examples?
Malingona City Center Hostel in Tirana often gets mentioned as being really good quality for that price point. So that's a good standard.
Okay, but you said the real magic happens in the mid-range. That's the sweet spot.
Absolutely. This is where Albania just shines, to think about it. For the price you might pay for a tiny, basic hotel room in Italy or France, maybe 40 to 70 euros a night.
Yeah. What do you get in Albania for that?
You can get a gorgeous modern Airbnb, like properly stylish, or a room in a really nice boutique hotel. A lot of these places are pretty new builds too, so good Wi-Fi, modern bathrooms, all that stuff.
And this is also where the traditional guest houses fit in, the butina.
Exactly. Especially in the historic cities like Berat and Chiro Caster. Staying in a family-run butina is an experience in itself. The hospitality is often incredible, really personal.
Okay, and if you do want to splash out a bit, is there a proper luxury scene developing?
There is, yeah. It's growing fast, particularly in Tirana and in certain pockets along the Riviera. You're seeing more genuine five-star places opening up.
Like the Maritime Hotel Plaza in Tirana.
That's a prime example, yeah.
Yeah.
Defines the high end there. Price-wise, you're looking at maybe 120 to 250 euros a night for that level of luxury.
Which, let's be honest, is still way less than you'd pay for an equivalent five-star in, say, Greece or Croatia next door.
Oh, absolutely. It's still a fraction of the cost. The value persists even at the luxury end.
Let's zoom in on Tirana for a sec. The neighborhoods seem to tell a story themselves. You've got Bloku, the block, and then the area around Skanderbeg Square.
Right, they offer really different vibes. And Bloku, well, its history is just fascinating.
This was the forbidden zone during the communist era, wasn't it?
Totally forbidden, off-limits to ordinary Albanians. It was the exclusive neighborhood for the top Communist Party officials. Enver Hoxha himself lived there, his inner circle. It was heavily guarded, physically separate, a real fortress within the city.
Hard to imagine now looking at it today.
Completely. Because today, Bloku is the absolute epicenter of modern Tirana.
Yeah.
It's buzzing, packed with the coolest bars, the trendiest cafes, the best restaurants, those villas that once housed the party elite. Now they're chic boutiques or lively night spots.
So if you want nightlife in action, Bloku's the place.
Definitely. It's where you feel a pulse of modern, confident, outward-looking Albania.
And the alternative, Skanderbeg Square area.
That's more the historical and cultural heart of the city. Think grand buildings, the main museums like the National Historical Museum, the Opera House, the big Edom Bey Mosque. It's all right there.
So better for first-timers, maybe? Or families?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
It's a bit calmer, maybe more convenient for ticking off the main sites. Still very central and walkable, but less about the late-night scene and more about the history and culture.
And a quick specific tip for Berat and Gjirokastër, those UNESCO cities.
Yes. If you make the effort to go down there, and you really should try your best to stay inside the historic zones.
What difference does that make?
It just completely elevates the experience. In Gjirokastër, stay within the old stone walls of the Ottoman town. In Berat, aim for a guest house in the Mangalum quarter, the traditional houses climbing the hill. You're literally sleeping inside that history, surrounded by the atmosphere. It's much more immersive than staying in a modern hotel on the outskirts.
Okay, moving from where to sleep to what to eat. The outline mentioned this fusion of Mediterranean and Balkan flavors, Greek, Italian, Turkish influences. How does that actually taste?
Well, the foundation is definitely Mediterranean. Lots of fresh vegetables, grilled meats, fantastic local olive oil. You see that everywhere.
Right.
But then the preparation methods, the spices, the specific dishes, that's where you really feel the Balkan and Ottoman, especially Turkish, influences coming through strongly.
And the key is freshness.
Absolutely key.
Uh-huh.
Because so much of the agriculture is still small scale, not heavily industrialized,
Yeah.
the ingredients just taste incredibly fresh and seasonal. It really feels like proper farm-to-table eating, almost without trying. It's just how things are done.
Okay, essentials. We have to talk about Byrek, the national snack.
Oh, Byrek is life. You find it absolutely everywhere, usually in little bakeries called Furry. It's this flaky phyllo pastry pie.
What are the typical fillings?
Most common are spinach, we call it spanak, or a salty white cheese, jath, or sometimes ground meat. It's savory, filling, and incredibly cheap.
How cheap are we talking?
You can get a big, hot slice for less than €1, seriously. It's the perfect breakfast, quick lunch, snack on the go. Have to try it.
Definitely on the list. Now, the intriguing one, tavikosi, baked lamb and rice with yogurt.
Yes. Okay, the description sounds a bit weird to some people. Tadikosi literally means sour milk casserole. But trust me on this one.
I'm listening.
It's baked lamb, sometimes chicken and rice, but it's cooked in this rich, savory sauce made from yogurt and eggs. Don't think sweet yogurt like for breakfast. This bakes into something almost like a savory custard, or really light, fluffy quiche, but with meat and rice underneath.
Huh. Okay, you've sold me. Savory custard.
It's proper comfort food, really unique to Albania, incredibly delicious. You just have to try it.
And hitting the coast, obviously, seafood is a must.
Oh, absolutely. Given the coastline, the seafood is fantastic. And again, the value is amazing. Keep it simple. Look for fresh, whole grilled fish. Sea bass, sea breams are common.
How's it usually served?
Just simply grilled, maybe with some local olive oil, lemon, perhaps some herbs. That's all it needs. And the price. You can often get a beautiful whole fish dinner right by the sea for maybe €10, €15.
That's crazy cheap compared to Greece or Italy.
Exactly. It's
Right.
one of the big draws of the Riviera.
We also mentioned Zgara. What's a Zgara?
Zgara just means grill house. These are your traditional mid-range spots, often family-run. They specialize almost entirely in grilled meats.
Lamb, veal.
Yep, lamb chops, veal skewers, local sausages called kofte, which are delicious. Big portions usually, served with simple salads, maybe some fries, fresh bread. It's hearty, flavorful, and again, great value. An entire meal with a drink might set you back 8 to 15 euros per person.
Perfect. And then there's the drink, raki, the local firewater.
Oh, raki, yes. It's basically a strong, clear brandy, usually made from grapes, but sometimes plums or other fruits. It's potent.
I bet.
But it's more than just a trick. It's really the symbol of hospitality. Especially in rural areas or smaller towns, local families often make their own homemade rashi, and they're very proud of it.
So if someone offers you a glass,
You should definitely accept it. It's a real gesture of welcome and friendship. Just maybe sip it slowly, especially the homemade stuff. It can be incredibly strong.
noted. Sip slowly. Okay, with all this amazing food, any tips for finding the most authentic, non-touristy spots?
Yeah, the golden rule, I think, is to look for the smaller, family-run places, especially those with simple chalkboard menus, or sometimes no menu at all.
No menu. How does that work?
They basically just cook whatever's fresh from the market that day. Mom or dad's in the kitchen making a couple of key dishes based on the best ingredients they found. That's where you get the real deal, the truly authentic flavors, often away from the main tourist drag.
Love that. And even the high-end dining, it still offers that incredible value, right? Like Malixiu and Tirana.
Exactly. Places like Malixia are doing really interesting things with modern Albanian cuisine, focusing on traditional ingredients and techniques, but with a contemporary twist. And you can have a full tasting menu experience there for, say, 40 or 50 euro per person.
Which would cost you 3 or 4 times that much in London or Paris.
Easily. Albania just delivers incredible quality at every single price point when it comes to food. It's a real foodie destination, even if people don't realize it yet. All right, shifting gears from eating to exploring. If you've got limited time, what absolutely has to be on the list, top of our list, the UNESCO World Heritage Cities.
That's Berat and Gjirokastër down south. We know they're beautiful, but what's the actual feeling like when you're there?
They're genuinely transportive. You feel like you've stepped back into the Ottoman era. Berat, the city of 1,000 windows, is just breathtaking.
Describe it for us.
Imagine hundreds of these white Ottoman houses, tightly packed, climbing up a steep hillside. They all have these distinctive dark-framed windows, loads of them, which is where the name comes from. And it all leads up to this massive citadel at the top, which is still lived in today.
Still lived in, wow.
Yeah, it's not just ruins. People live and work within the citadel walls. It's amazing.
And Gjirokastër. How is it different?
Gjirokastër feels stronger, maybe. It's the city of stone. The houses there are these incredible, imposing structures made of gray stone, almost like mini fortresses with their slate roofs. And looming over the whole valley is this enormous castle. It had a really powerful, maybe slightly more austere medieval atmosphere compared to Berat's brightness.
So the main advice for visiting them is?
Just get lost.
Yeah.
Seriously, wander through the cobblestone alleys. Allow yourself to explore without a strict plan. Entry to the citadels themselves is super cheap, just a couple of euros, maybe 200 to 400 lek.
But there's a practical tip about footwear.
Yes. This sounds boring, but it's crucial. Those ancient cobblestones are beautiful, but they can be incredibly slippery, especially if it's rained or even just dusty. Wear good shoes, something with grip. You do not want to be sliding down those steep lanes in flimsy sandals. Trust me.
Good practical advice. Okay, activity number 2, hitting the road. The Albanian Riviera.
Yes. This is a must-do if you love stunning coastal scenery. The main route runs between the cities of Lure and Sarande.
And the highlight is the Yogara Pass, right?
Oh, absolutely. The Agara Pass is spectacular. The road climbs really steeply over 1,000 meters through a pine forest, and then suddenly you break out at the top and the view just opens up.
What do you see?
Just this incredible panorama of the Ionian Sea below. Turquoise water, dramatic coastline stretching out. It's honestly one of the most breathtaking drives in Europe. Sheer drops, hairpin bends, that smell of pine and sea salt. It's magic.
And once you descend the pass, you're rewarded with the beaches.
Exactly. Beaches like Durmi, Jail, Hamora, they're famous for that incredibly clear turquoise water. This is where having that rental car really pays off, because you can pull over at viewpoints, discover little hidden coves away from the main stretches.
And again, the value continues even at the beach.
Yep. Renting a couple of sunbeds and an umbrella for the whole day, often just 10 or 15 narno. Still very affordable compared to its neighbors.
But timing is important here, right? To avoid crowds.
Very important. The absolute best times are the shoulder seasons.
Yeah.
June or September. You get fantastic weather, the water's warm, but you avoid the peak season crush.
Which is mainly July and August.
Late July and especially August get very busy. So yeah, aim for June or September if you can.
Okay, third must-do. This one feels important for understanding the country. Bunk Art 1. Confronting the past.
Yes, this brings us back full circle to those bunkers we started with. You see the small ones everywhere, but Bunk Art 1, this is the mothership.
Describe it. What is it?
It's this enormous 5-story underground bunker complex built just outside Tirana. It was commissioned by the dictator, Enver Hoxha.
Why build something so massive and hidden?
Pure paranoia. Hoxha was convinced Albania was constantly under threat of imminent invasion. From the West, from the Soviets after he broke with them, from Yugoslavia, even from China eventually. He trusted no one.
So this was his doomsday bunker.
Essentially, yes. It was designed to house the entire political and military leadership in case of a nuclear attack or a massive invasion. It's vast hundreds of rooms, including Hoxha's private apartment, huge meeting halls, communication centers, decontamination showers. The works. A city under the ground, built out of fear.
And now it's a museum.
Brilliantly, yes. It's been converted into this incredible museum space that blends history, telling the story of the communist era, the isolation, the political persecution with contemporary art installations.
What's it like to visit? The experience?
It's chilling, honestly. Walking through those cold, echoing concrete corridors, seeing Hoxha's Spartan bedroom, the sheer scale of the place, it gives you a really visceral sense of that oppressive, paranoid atmosphere they lived under for decades.
How long do you need?
You need at least a couple hours to take it all in properly. The ticket's cheap, around 500 league, so about €5. It's a heavy experience, definitely, but absolutely essential for understanding modern Albania's psyche, I think.
Okay, time for the reality check. Because as amazing as it sounds, Albania isn't perfect. It's not a totally polished destination yet, and maybe that's part of the appeal. What's the overall raw vibe we should expect?
Raw is a good word. Unfiltered, maybe? It feels incredibly authentic because you're literally watching this huge national transformation unfold in real time.
You see the contrasts everywhere, right?
Constantly. Shiny new glass building right next to a crumbling old concrete block. A brand new Mercedes swerving around a farmer leading a donkey. It's that juxtaposition, the old and the new, the developed and the still developing, all mashed together. The chaos is part of the energy.
But amidst that chaos, the people, everyone says the people are the highlight. Warm, friendly.
Overwhelmingly so.
Yeah.
Genuinely warm, incredibly friendly, and very, very proud of their country. There's this deep cultural tradition called Besa.
Besa, what does that mean?
Roughly, it translates to keeping the promise or word of honor. Historically, it's this ancient code dictating that guests must be protected and cared for, almost above all else, even at personal risk.
And how does that ancient code play out for a tourist today?
It means you often encounter this amazing generosity and curiosity. People really want to know why you chose to visit Albania. They want you to have a good time. Don't be surprised if a shopkeeper offers you a coffee or a guest house owner insists you try some homemade raki or a piece of fruit, just as a gesture.
That sounds lovely.
It really is. They go out of their way. And importantly, it also translates into safety. Albania is generally very safe for tourists. Violent crime against visitors is extremely rare. You feel welcomed, not targeted.
Okay, that's the good side of the raw vibe. Now, the challenges. The developing infrastructure. What do we need to brace ourselves for?
Patience. Definitely pack your patience. Things don't always run like clockwork. Outside the main cities and resorts, Wi-Fi can be unreliable. Power cuts still happen occasionally, though less than they used to. You just can't assume everything will work perfectly 100% of the time.
Anything else?
There is, unfortunately, a noticeable litter problem in some areas, particularly along roadsides or in some natural beauty spots.
Yeah.
It's a sad side effect of rapid development without maybe enough waste management infrastructure keeping pace. They're working on it, but it's something you will likely see.
And money. We need cash, right?
Yes, absolutely. Albania is still very much a cash-heavy economy. While big hotels in Tirana or maybe the newest resorts might take cards, don't count on it elsewhere. Smaller towns, family guest houses, those traditional Zgara restaurants, local markets, even some taxis. It's cash, cash, cash. Albanian Lake.
So plan ahead. Hit the ATM in bigger towns.
Definitely. Stock up on Lake before you head off into the mountains or down to more remote parts of the coast. ATMs are readily available in cities but can be scarce elsewhere. And just one more reminder on taxis: agree the price first or insist on the meter. Just standard practice to avoid any issues.
Okay. Now for the tough part, the maybe not worth it list. Is there anywhere you'd actually recommend skipping, or at least seriously reconsidering?
Yes. Our number one recommendation here, controversial as it might be for some, is skipping Samil in peak season. That means late July and especially August.
But the photos of Samil are incredible. Those little islands just offshore, the clear water, it looks like paradise.
It can be paradise. The setting is genuinely stunning. But the village itself is tiny, and the infrastructure just cannot cope with the massive influx of visitors during peak summer.
What happens? What's it like?
It becomes a complete madhouse, honestly. The small beaches get absolutely rammed, literally towel to towel. Finding a spot is stressful. Traffic in and out of the village is a nightmare. Prices for everything, sunbeds, food, drinks, skyrocket. It loses all its charm and value proposition. It just becomes overcrowded and overpriced. A victim of its own Instagram fame, maybe.
So what's the alternative if you have to travel in August?
Well, the best alternative is to visit Tamil in June or September when it's lovely. But if August is your only option, I'd suggest heading a bit further north along the Riviera. The beaches around Himari or Dermi are much larger. The towns have better infrastructure to handle crowds, and you'll likely have a much more relaxing experience. They absorb the numbers better.
Good advice. Avoid the Samil crush in August. And the other thing to skip, we need to hammer this home again.
Driving yourself in Tirana. Please, just don't. If you rent a car for your Albanian road trip, which is a great idea, park it securely when you get to the capital, or drop it off at the rental agency.
Why be so firm on this?
Because the traffic is genuinely chaotic. Parking is beyond difficult. It's often impossible. And the driving style, well, we called it assertive, maybe creative interpretation of the rules is another way to put it. It's just not worth the stress, the potential scrapes, the hours wasted in gridlock. Walk or take those cheap taxis. Seriously, #tag final sex.
Conclusion and final synthesis.
Okay, let's bring this all together. We've covered a lot of ground. What's the final verdict on Albania?
I think the verdict is pretty clear, actually. Albania offers this incredible combination. You've got absolutely stunning, diverse natural beauty from alpine peaks down to that gorgeous Riviera. You have unbelievable value for money across the board.
And the history, the culture. Deep, captivating history, yes. Those UNESCO sites, the communist past. It's fascinating. And laid on top of all that is this genuinely warm, deep-rooted hospitality stemming from that BESA code. It's a really compelling package.
There's always a but with Albania right now, isn't there?
There is, and it's a crucial but. It absolutely requires grit. It requires patience. You have to be prepared for the realities of infrastructure that's still developing. You have to be ready for a certain level of unpredictability, maybe even chaos, that comes with the territory of a country changing so incredibly fast.
So you need to embrace the chaos a bit to really enjoy the culture.
I think that's exactly right. You have to roll with the punches sometimes.
So thinking about the listener, who is Albania really for? Who's going to love it?
It's definitely for the adventurous traveler, the curious one, someone who enjoys the unexpected, who doesn't need everything to be perfectly polished and predictable.
Budget travelers, history buffs.
Absolutely perfect for budget backpackers. The value is unbeatable. Amazing for history buffs who want to see incredible ancient sites without the insane crowds you get in Italy or Greece. And fantastic for road trippers who love dramatic scenery and that sense of freedom. It's for anyone who wants to see a unique corner of Europe that feels like it's right on the cusp of huge change.
And conversely, who is Albania perhaps not for? Who might be disappointed?
Well, it's probably not the right fit for someone seeking that seamless, all-inclusive, highly polished resort experience where everything just works perfectly and you don't have to think too much.
It's not a fly-and-flop destination, generally.
Not really, no. Outside of maybe a few specific high-end resorts, it's much more of an active, exploratory kind of place. It requires engagement. It's not really a sit-back-and-be completely pampered destination for the most part.
Okay, so here's maybe a final thought to leave people with. You've emphasized the raw authenticity, the rapid change, the chaos even, as being part of Albania's current strength, its unique appeal.
Yeah, the bunkers next to the new hotels, the donkeys next to the Mercedes.
Okay.
And that is Albania right now.
So as the infrastructure inevitably improves, as it gets more polished, more like its Western European neighbors, which it surely will over time,
It's already happening incredibly fast.
do we risk losing something? How much of that unique, adventurous, slightly chaotic spirit might get smoothed out, lost in the process of becoming ready for prime time?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a real consideration for you, the listener.
Yeah.
If you're drawn to places that feel truly different, truly authentic, if the charm lies partly in that transitional energy and seeing the past and future colliding daily,
Then the message is.
maybe the message is, go now. Go see it while it's still in this fascinating, slightly wild, rapidly evolving state, before the secret is completely out, and before that raw edge gets inevitably, perhaps necessarily, smoothed away. Go witness the transformation yourselves.